Breaking news. An imprisoned pro-war Russian nationalist is challenging Putin in the upcoming election. Pro-war from a pre-trial detention facility, Russian nationalist Igor Girkin has announced his long-shot presidential bid, branding Vladimir Putin extremely gullible. On Thursday, Girkin, who uses the alias Strelkov, shooter, posted a statement on Telegram outlining 6 reasons why he would make a better president than Vladimir Putin, the longtime leader of Russia who is currently waging a brutal war against Ukraine. The 52-year-old Girkin rose to prominence in 2014 after he led troops into eastern Ukraine and briefly served as the defense minister of the separatist Donetsk region. A Dutch court found him guilty of murder in his absence for his role in the shooting down of a Malaysian Airlines passenger jet, an event that resulted in the deaths of 298 people. He rebranded himself as a critic of Russian military strategy in Ukraine after the country's full-scale invasion in February 2022, claiming he could do a better job. Girkin, who announced his intention to run in the March 2024 presidential election in Russia, claimed he was a better military strategist than Putin, had no ties to any of the Russian oligarch clans and thus owed them nothing, and had never trusted the West. Along with restarting the Russian military's offensive in Ukraine, he also promised to crack down on corruption in the country's defense industry. Putin is far too generous. Girkin wrote that not long after the start of the special military operation in Ukraine, the general realized that he had been deceived, not only by his Western and Kyiv allies, but also by the heads of the United States law enforcement, intelligence, and military-industrial complex. The so-called Ukraine is not a dummy in military terms, and it turned out that Russia was not ready for war, he said. But the top Russian military and police officials stayed in their positions and kept shocking us with their ineptitude. I'm not nearly so nice as you seem to think I am. Also, if elected, he wouldn't rule as long as Putin, who won the presidency for the first time in 2000. I'm not as athletic and healthy as Vladimir Vladimirovich was at my age, Girkin wrote. So even if I suddenly have a desire to mess with you after the military crisis and its most severe consequences, I won't be able to do so purely physically for more than 20 years. Unfortunately, Girkin will be held in a Russian jail until at least September 18 while he awaits trial. After 2 Telegram posts in which he criticized and even mocked Putin, police in July arrested him on extremism charges. Despite the investigation, Girkin continues to deny any wrongdoing. If he is found guilty, Russian law prohibits him from running for president and he faces up to 5 years in prison. Since Girkin is on Interpol's most wanted list and faces life in prison if caught outside of Russia, he has asked the court to place him under house arrest, citing health problems and claiming he does not pose a flight risk. The judge ruled no.